done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.
What's up, YouTube? Now, today, as the intro you saw it. That was my reaction when I hit level 17 in the Duelist Cup, as you can see here. And hit level 17, I decided my mental can't handle getting the last 200 gems. Not to mention the Duelist level max, I didn't care. But it was my reaction that, cut the cameras, I'm done. It was me, straight up. It was a grind and a half. It took a lot longer than I expected. And the astute of you will notice that today is the 30th of September when I'm recording this video, and I didn't manage to get any further with the rank climb. Unfortunately, life happens, as you know. I started a course, etc. However, I did save some replays from the Duelist Cup. First things first, though, before we get into the replays, I just want to talk about how much I despise this event. Of course, I've posted a whole video about it, and you guys have been blowing up my last video about it. But this event just needs to die off. Like, it just needs to not be a thing anymore. The stress that it induces, the try-hard that it induces, it had me building runic stun, okay? Like, I was so frustrated that it had me building runic stun. I didn't finish it. I wanted the runic engine anyway, so it's kind of whatever. But it genuinely had me building whole new decks, or considering whole new decks, midway through. Like, I reached level 15, 16, I started thinking, oh, I can't build this. I can't use this deck anymore. It had me freaking out. I was stressed out. It was. I mean, obviously, some people it comes easy to. I don't claim to be super good at the game. I try to help where I can, or where I feel like I have some knowledge. But Konami needs to let this event go. This is, I think, the 4th Duelist Cup of the year. If the next, or in December, it's going to be Duelist Cup, I'm going to lose my mind, man. I'm going to lose my absolute mind. I want to say at least spring next year is when Duelist Cup should be back, if any time. And if at that point, it's just, I still don't want it back. Just let it go. It's so annoying to play. There was like a variation of like 4 decks you saw. I mean, obviously you guys probably saw in my last video. I'm playing Kashtira, little, sneak peek. This is the deck I played 99% of the time. I want to say, okay, 95% of the time, this was the deck I played. But this, when I tell you that this was just the most, it was Yubel. Yubel was one. It was Centurion, which was horrible for Kashtira to play with, at least in my experience. It was, what else was there? There was Yubel, Centurion. There was a few. Labyrinth, none of those will be in the replays. I didn't see any Fluanderies, which was cool, but there was just the same sort of few. There was Voiceless Voice was the bane of my existence, as you guys probably saw in the comment section of my last video. Voiceless Voice was too prominent. There was so much stuff, dude, and it was so annoying. So this event needs to go. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done. That was why I was just happy with level 17. As you guys saw my community post, I hit level 17. I posted. Finally, it was over, and I'm just gonna say goodbye to the last 200 gems. So let's get into some replays here, and you guys can follow along in some of the stuff that I thought was cool, or that I played well, or that was just an awkward game to play, or in general, like what I did in situations where my deck didn't want to cooperate. So let's get into the replays right now. So here we are, replay number 1. Spoiler alert, I think I win most of these duels. I was playing so many, I spammed the game so much this past week. So anyway, this hand initially, I chose to go first. This hand is not good. This is one of those hands where you kind of need Pot of Extravagance to actually go through. So we banish 6 cards. We get Raitsoth, the 1-card combo to start everything. Unicorn, the standard Kashtira stuff. Theosis. I have 2 Birth in hand now as well, which is fine. I have Telements Kashtira. We go into Shangri-Era. And here we go into Rise Heart. Get a Rise Heart after we activate the effect of Shangri-Era. It's the same sort of Kashtira line you saw in my previous video. But it was like how lucky that the pot card actually, you know, went off and worked. So with Birth, we go ahead and use Birth to get Telements Kashtira out and banish more cards. It was, first things first, I did not know what I saw Samsara D-Lotus and I was like, ah, Yubel, great. And then Monster Reborn, and I was like, that's interesting, fair enough. Yeah. Also, at this point, I believe we now have Infinitrack Goliath on a Rise Heart, so he can't be destroyed by card effects, which is fine. And here, I usually don't go into Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, but because I scouted and saw we're going to have a Yubel deck, I was like, okay, they do a lot of activations, so it might be worth to have Red Eyes on field. So I went ahead and did so, and then I just passed turn. So right now, live, we have an Arise Heart, which will get a banish as soon as he activates anything, which will then burn him for 500 damage, and Shangri-Era, which is undestroyable for one destruction. He uses Mystical Space Typhoon on my Birth, which was... it was whatever, it's fine. Birth wouldn't have been able to work, but he takes 500 burn damage. We take Unicorn. He banished something. I'll take something else from his banished zone. We now have a banish life. So he activates Mature Chronicle to then get, I believe, yeah, this is his Phantom of Yubel, and he just ends turn. So I banish and get rid of him. He then activates his effect, which will also cause him to take 500 damage, thanks to Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. So we love that. We're doing good. We're looking good right now. So I'm thinking, okay, but there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. A lot of activations right now that are going on in chain. So we have Unicorn chained to his Yubel. We're going to get rid of his Loving Defender. His Yubel is going to summon Terra Incarnate, and Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon will activate, and then we get to suck back Infinity Goliath. And again, now we have the loop of banish something, activate, banish something, activate. So Shangri-Era goes off, which is great. We suck in a Yubel from their side of the field, and we get to destroy their card. It got banished. We get to pull something else. Now, he obviously gets to summon something, but I had Ash Blossom. So, fantastic news for that. He's burned his own life points down to 6,000, and it'll go down to 5,500 now. We get to suck back another card. Now we have another banish live for my turn if he tries to activate something crazy. So, we're going to use the effect, banish 3 cards, and we're going to get rid of this card now. So he wants to use the effect to special summon one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. He activates a card, therefore Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Again, we're getting rid of his last, his Nightmare Pain spots, if you want to say it like that. So now he gets to set Nightmare Pain. I hoped that he wouldn't get... oh, he didn't set it, he took it to hand. Okay, fair enough. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon burn. It's so underrated with the Red Eyes. Red Eyes is so good. Planet Ratesoth to destroy, a Unicorn to banish something from his extra deck. I believe it's around here he actually surrenders, if memory serves. Now he's got nowhere to put Nightmare Pain, which is fantastic. We love that. Spirit of Yubel is going to let him bring regular Yubel out again. He burns himself again. We grab our card to go ahead and use the... and I take Rise Heart, which I'm not sure why. I don't know why I did that. I grabbed Theosis. Theosis to banish Ogre. Birth could have done a lot of things here. We could have actually taken Ogre back. He might be thinking that, oh, I'm safe because I have Yubel on my side of the field. What he is not expecting, though, is that I will add preparations, and he actually... I think I take Big Eye here to take his Yubel from him. Yeah. Another underrated card. We go into number 11, Big Eye, banish a card, take his Yubel, and that's game. 12,400 damage on board. Big Eye coming in clutch there. He burned himself for like half his life points though, so I can't say Big Eye was the perfect situation. Anyway, that was duel number 1. We'll get into the next one. So duel number 2 coming up here. And again, I think I'm playing Kashtira. I do believe I am going first, luckily enough. Another hand where you're kind of like, this isn't great. You not really want to see this. I will use Kashtira Scareclaw to banish to regular Rise Heart, get Theosis into Unicorn, and Unicorn to grab Birth. This is a sort of a roundabout way I went around to get into my combo. So Birth will let me summon back regular Rise Heart from the side there, grabbing. That was a bit of a weird choice, because here's the issue where I made a mistake. I used his effect, Kashtira Big Bang, to essentially take off Unicorn, but I'm going to summon a Unicorn with Kashtira Shangri-Ira's effect in the standby phase of the next turn anyway, so that was kind of my bad, but then I figured I can also summon Fenrir, sorry, so it's fine. We go ahead, we set evenly, and we set Cold Buy. We grab ourselves our Arise Heart, and we are looking good. Everything's looking fine. Standby phase, standard Kashtira Shangri-Ira stuff, Ogre. This time I went for Ogre, and I don't remember why. Why did I take Ogre here? I think it was because I noticed that I now have something to banish from his extra deck over here. I didn't know at the time, and his main deck. So that's why. He's playing heroes, and I think he really tried. He really did try, but heroes kind of just immediately fail as soon as stuff gets banished. And unfortunately for him, that's kind of what's going on here. He ends his turn. In end of his turn, I decide to banish whatever that face down was. Wasn't sure what it was. This thing is Masked Hero Dark Law, where if your opponent adds a card from the deck to their hand, you can banish one random card from your opponent's hand. I don't really need any more cards in my hand, to be honest. I mean, even just here, I'm 5,300. If I just switch Shangri-Ira to attack mode, kind of good. I will go ahead and special summon Fenrir to use his effect to grab Unicorn again. I'm not sure why I took Unicorn. Now, he wants to banish some random card from my hand. I don't mind too much if it's Unicorn. I wanted Kashtira Telements on field, so I let it go. And he doesn't get to banish anything. I get full control of what's getting banished, so I get to now start going crazy here. As you can see, a long chain of effects. A very long chain of effects on my side of the field. So Ogre will banish Neo something, some sort of elemental hero thing. I think it was a Neos. And then we'll go ahead and get rid of Verte Anaconda, banish his Dark Law. Kashtira will banish more from his side of the deck, his side of the field, and then we get to suck with a Rise Heart. And we get to then start blocking off more zones. And it's game at this point. So, you know, there's not really much to say. When it worked well. But these replays are not just from low level. This is from like, this right now is not the highest level stuff. And there will be stuff that comes from higher level stuff, I do believe. So we're just going to go for game here. You know, there's really not much to see in these early duels. Unfortunately, they weren't that interesting, but we did play around very awkward hands, which is why I thought that's worth to show. So we win, and we'll get into duel number 3.